weighing in fights and films.
Hi, welcome to Weighing In Fights and Films. I'm Jenny Rose. I'm here with my cousin and co-host
Brett the Threat, and we are going to review the movie Aliens, directed by James Cameron, starring Sigourney Weaver, Bill Paxton,
Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser is in it. Who knew? Michael Biehn.
Michael Biehn
From
That's
Terminator. Lance Henriksen.
Yep.
Who played the artificial person,
I believe
as
I read
he
in
prefers to be called.
trivia he was going to quit acting until he got this role. It picks up like years after Alien, right?
57 years. She's out in deep space, and a salvage team finds her, wakes her up, takes her back to Earth.
She learns that her daughter has died of old age, I presume, because the picture they show is of an old woman, which trivia is actually Sigourney Weaver's actual mother.
Nice!
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Again, you get Sigourney Weaver walking around in her underpants. They're not as saggy this time, though.
I don't mind it. But they lose contact with the planet LV-426, which is where she landed in the first movie, so they assume something terrible has happened, so they want her to come back to that planet again as a consultant, this time with the fucking Marines.
Some of the corniest Marine acting I have ever seen.
It's Space Marines. Come on, give us a
Well, you got like the usual like butch chick that's like, yo bro, you know, she's the bro, she's the tough fighter of the, you know, but it's like so like cliched. And then Bill Paxton was like, man, what's up, man? I don't know about this, man.
Bill Paxton was awesome in this movie.
Like,
what are we gonna do now, man? What are we gonna do?
Oh, yeah,
Game over, man. Game over.
He cries like a little baby and everything. He apologized to the little girl every time he had to swear in front of her too, by the way. But of course you got where only she's right. No one's listening to her. You got the pencil pushers that don't know, that think they know everything, and they're
only out for profit.
Only out for profit.
This is a very 80s motivated movie where corporate greed was bad.
Yeah, and corporate greed was bad. The Marines are bullish and think that she's a wuss.
They don't really believe her either that a xenomorph was involved.
Yeah, and then like at one point in the movie, like they say they can't use their weapons because of the danger to the situation.
Right.
Over the radio, and it's like, heaven forbid you explain in 2 seconds. No, take your guns, take your guns. Why are you gonna just take the guns, take the guns? In that time, you could have said, because it will blow everything up. Like, heaven forbid you explain anything.
Alright, that's a small plot hole that I didn't see before. But didn't that pump you up though when the aliens were starting to attack and she goes, "Let's rock!" She just starts mowing everything down with the Gatling guns she had. Didn't that pump you up like, yeah?
No.
No! You are such a cold-hearted snake.
So I like how she litters again in outer space though at the end. Another alien out to the oblivion of space.
That's true.
Exact ending.
Somewhere out there's an alien just floating around going, whee!
There are two.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll bump into each other.
Like, how can she not climb a ladder? Like, she's having such trouble climbing the ladder at the end. I'm like, feet. You have them. Use them.
Well, she's got a kid.
No, this is when she's opening the bay to let the other alien out.
The air is being sucked into the vacuum of space.
That's why you should have your feet on the ladder.
That's why it was such a struggle.
And then here's the other thing. Why couldn't she close the bay at the same point that she opened the bay?
Oh, you mean from like the robot thing that she was in?
No, she opens the bay at a little like thing that's in the middle of the shaft, of the middle of the ladder.
Right.
Why couldn't she close the bay from there?
Because that was the opening lever. That was poor design on the people who made the shit.
Fucking learn how to climb a ladder.
That's not her fault.
What do you rate it on this movie?
I think this is a great movie. This is 5 punches. I thought it was a great action movie. It's good suspense. I thought it was like very memorable quotes throughout everything. I watched this movie when it came out on VHS, and I memorized the entire movie as a teenager. I thought it was great. I still like it. Especially now with the extra footage, with the director's cut.
I did watch the extra footage. I did watch that version.
Oh dear Lord Jesus, this ain't happening, man. This ain't happening. Bill Paxton just steals the movie for me. He was so awesome.
Oh God, no, he made me cringe. Like, that 80s shit makes me cringe.
We gotta go back in there. Fuck that. I ain't going back in there, man.
I'm not going in there, man.
Why don't you go, man?
Anyway.
Yeah, sure. Those things running around. Count me out.
I do weigh in on this at 4 punches, though.
So, you dog the whole thing and then give it 4?
Yeah.
What gives?
I like James Cameron's directing.
It is pretty good.
Yeah. So I have these complaints about like the individual things, certain things in there, but the flow of the movie is better. For me, it was better than the first one. And the actual, you know, it did move along. It did hold my interest by the end. I got more into it. So I will give it to that. You know, I have these complaints about it, but I did think that James Cameron did a good job.
This one is definitely an action movie, whereas the first one was a horror.
Which is much more. I didn't think the first one was horror. I didn't think it was scary, but this one definitely was more of the action genre.
Well, there it is. Don't forget to support her MMA fight career, which she might be fighting again.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm all over the place on this. Sorry, guys. This is a tough decision. It's not an easy decision to make at all. So, it's not.
We'll see.
Point blank, it's not. Yeah.
We'll find out.
Anyway, you can support this YouTube channel, Weighing In Fights and Films, by clicking a link below for merchandise and liking, commenting, and subscribing. How do you weigh in on the Aliens, the sequel to Alien?